Hey, FitLovers.
Hey, FitLovers.
Welcome back. I am Ramsey.
And I am Mina.
And today we'll be talking about 3 ways to help you navigate through failure when it inevitably happens. This is Garage Talk. Failure is a part of life. Every person who has ever tasted success has first experienced failure, and probably more than once.
That's right. In fact, the only people who haven't failed are the ones who haven't tried to succeed at anything.
But for those of you who do want to succeed, whether it's in life or in your relationships or in business as a parent, you're going to have to accept the fact that at some point you're going to fail, possibly at many points along the way.
In the book The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho, there's a great quote. You drown not by falling into a river, but by staying submerged in it. Maybe you had a relationship that ended, or maybe you didn't get that job that you wanted so badly, or maybe you started a business that failed. The point of the quote is eventually you're going to fail at something. It's just a part of life. But staying down instead of getting back up again is the real failure.
Yep. Fall down, but get back up. I'm sure many of you have heard this message before. Falling down or failing can be painful. For highly motivated and driven individuals, that failure is just a hiccup. It's simply a way or a method that doesn't work. They get up, brush themselves off, and go find a way that does work. For many people, though, that same failure can chip away at their confidence and self-esteem. It can cause people to feel unmotivated and have them questioning their abilities or belief in themselves. In fact, failure can be so debilitating and discouraging for some people that they never recover and ultimately settle for a life of mediocrity because why try? I'm just going to fail.
If you're a driven and motivated person, keep doing what you're doing.
Yep.
Eventually, the door you've been trying to open will open.
Yep.
But what if failure or a series of failures have gotten you down so much that you feel like you can't get back up again? What happens when you get overwhelmed by all the negative thoughts swirling around in your head and you can't figure out what your next move should be? Well, we have a few tips that we'd like to offer that may help.
Yep.
It's a well-known fact that regular physical exercise can relieve stress, anxiety, and depression. During exercise, your body releases endorphins. These endorphins interact with your brain and create positive feelings throughout your body and your overall mood.
Yep.
If you've never worked out before, at first it could seem a little difficult, but after a while you begin to enjoy it, and eventually you won't be able to live without it. Trust me. Working out is one of the best ways to build confidence and to feel better about yourself. Not to mention you'll be around other like-minded people. That's where I met this dude.
In the gym.
And you'll be getting in great shape.
Yeah. In the presence of like-minded people.
Just remember that any workout routine should include eating healthy, drinking plenty of water, and getting adequate sleep.
Mm-hmm. People often tend to focus on the negative aspects of themselves, especially when they perceive things to be going bad in their lives. I've been guilty of this too. I used to say things to myself like, I can't do that, or I'm not good enough, or I'm a failure. Or sometimes I'd get upset with myself and say things to and about myself that if I said to Mina or some other friend of mine, they probably wouldn't be my friend for very long. So why then would I speak to myself that way? Presumably you speak to the people in your life with love and respect. So doesn't it make sense to speak to yourself the same way? Because the biggest problem with engaging in the negative self-talk is that you end up believing all these negative ideas about yourself. And once your mind accepts something as being true, that's what you'll see. And every negative experience you have thereafter will validate what your mind believes is true. Remember, you can't control the thoughts that come into your mind, but you can control the ones you embrace. So, change your words and your thoughts. And if you have trouble with that, refer to tip number 1. In Ed Milet's book, Max Out Your Life, he talks about one of the best ways to build confidence in yourself is by keeping the promises you make to yourself. If you say you're going to get out of bed at a certain time, do it. If you say you're going to the gym that day, do it. If you pledge to spend X amount of time per day working on a project, do it. Keeping the promises you make to yourself will give you a sense of achievement and peace of mind knowing that you're getting done what you set out to get done.
That's right. You want to create healthy habits that you do on a regular basis that are non-negotiable. By non-negotiable, I mean you do what you have to, whether you're motivated or not. It isn't good to rely solely on motivation because your level of motivation can change anytime throughout the day.
Yep.
Instead, rely on discipline. If you rely on discipline, you'll get stuff done whether you're motivated or not.
Yep. The trick is to stay busy doing things that will move you toward your goals. If you stay busy, you won't have time to think of the negatives. And you may discover some pathways to reach your goals that you never considered before.
So get started with your routine. And if you're having trouble figuring out where to start, refer to tip number 1.
It's like Rocky Balboa says, it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now, if you know what you're worth, then go out and get what you're worth. But you got to be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that.
And you are.
And you are. Remember, everybody fails. Not everybody gets back up. And it's in getting back up that can be the difference between ultimate failure or ultimate success. The choice is, and always will be, yours to make. Well, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Please like and subscribe, and don't forget to turn your notifications on so you'll be notified first when we release new episodes. Thanks again, FitLovers.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time.
Hey!